Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another reading vlog. Today I'm doing something very exciting. Today I'm going to be reading one of my favorite authors' entire catalog, or well, the books that I haven't read basically. I'm very excited to be reading all of the books by Emily Henry. This is the Emily Henry reading vlog. Okay, I have read Beach Read, Happy Place, and Book Lovers. Just tell you guys what's on my TBRs. We have Great Big Beautiful Life, You and Me on Vacation. Funny story, it's between Daphne and Miles. Literally like 31 pages in, and I feel like Miles is already like going toe to toe with Charlie, who is from Book Lovers. And Charlie is my favorite out of all the main male characters in Emily Henry's universe. He's there. He's number one. He's one of one. He's the only one. And Miles, I feel like he's gonna go toe to toe with him. He just sounds so sweet and like a golden retriever. I like me one of those. So it's between Daphne and Miles. Their respective partners cheated on them with each other, which is actually a funny story. When they cheat, Daphne ends up moving out of the place that she shared with her fiance and moves in with Miles. Basically, that's where I'm at right now. They are spending this one time together officially. It seems like they're gonna have fun. If you don't set your world in a book world, it flops. Well, for me. And Daphne is a librarian. Peter! When I catch you, Peter, you're gonna catch these hands. What an asshole. That's all I have to say. I'm currently on page 30 and I'm enjoying it. Also, the banter, she is funny. And they say women are not funny. Emily Henry is funny. I'm gonna tell you guys what I think about it as I'm reading on. Hopefully you enjoy this video half as much as I'm going to enjoy reading all of these books. I basically just binged this book up. So, finished Funny Story, and it was indeed a funny story. This one, we're following Miles and Daphne. They are respective partners who were best friends, cheated on them with each other. I feel like the more I try to explain it, the more I'm doing a bad job. Daphne ends up moving in with Miles. One, she has nowhere else to go, but two, be in a space with someone who knows what you're going through. And it's also a self-discovering book because Daphne has been in the sandbox with Peter, who I would like to punch in the face. She was just in Peter's house, in Peter's life, being with Peter's friends, not necessarily having her own life outside of the we that she has with Peter. She goes through this, should she stay in this town that is Peter's town? She should just like move back to Maryland with her mom and everything. Then Miles kind of like convincing her that she can have a life and she can still live here. What I'm discovering, Emily Henry does this thing of making women, female characters in her books, like her life is the most important thing before the romance. It was not necessarily the romance that she wanted to keep. It was just friendship that she had developed with Miles. Miles also, guys, this book is in the runner-up. It's so close with Book Lovers. It's just that Miles is not my guy. Charlie, that's my man. I digressed. So I was saying that the romance is the subplot in all of her books. Her life is the most important thing, and the guy will be in the backseat. I love that. Daphne is trying to create this life and making sure that she has a beautiful life, even though there's a huge decision that she needs to make, making friends, doing things. Miles, I think he's just sucked at communication. Could have done just a little better because like he made me uneasy. But I went in so scared. I genuinely thought I was not gonna like it. No, like how people, oh, if you like Beach Read, you're not gonna like You and Me on Vacation. If you like Book Lovers, you're not gonna like Funny Story, things like that. I really went in with that mentality, and I'm so glad I went in with my expectations not gonna be groundbreaking. It was groundbreaking to me. I don't think I even gave you guys my reactions because when I tell you that I was reading it at every chance I could, it was hard for me to even take out my phone and like film. I was having a good time being in this world. I was giggling, laughing. Emily Henry knows how to do banter. And also I just loved how her and Ashley, they've worked together for a long time, but they're new friends and something happens between them. And I love the conversation. You will disappoint me, you will hurt me. I will not be intentional into doing so. And I know also it will not be your intention to hurt me. What happens when you care for people, you're bound to be hurt by things that they do or not do. And that's okay. I think that's what I like about Emily Henry's books. It's so realistic that we can just genuinely communicate with one another. I loved everything. Obviously I love the writing, flowed so well. And I'm sorry guys that I don't have a lot of b-roll of me reading this book, me giggling. Miles was very funny, Daphne was very funny, Ashley, I love Harvey. I loved everything about this book. It was really so close to being perfect. It's just that I disliked Miles panicking. Like, come on dude, you've been doing so well. And then he panics and I was just like, no. So Charlie is still number one in the Emily Henry verse. Really had a good time reading this. And then I quickly moved to You and Me on Vacation. I think I'm on page like 9. The synopsis of this one is that these are best friends who go on vacation every single summer, and then one summer something happens, they don't speak, and they see each other again in this one summer where they rehash what happened. Already I have thoughts. Hopefully I get some b-roll and not get sucked in, but already I was smiling because I was getting my nails done and reading this book. I was like, again, I'm very scared, but I want to love her so bad. Like, I want everything to be a 5-star already because of the movie that's coming out. I'm already picturing the characters, even though I saw someone being described as blonde. So those actors have black hair. But yeah, anyways, let's start with You and Me on Vacation. Things that I wish. Me and you on vacation reading books, but we are watching this video instead. I love that for us though. I haven't given you guys an update. I am currently on page 184. I am loving this book, if not just a little bit more than I did Funny Story. I'm not sure if I told you guys, but this is a Friends to Lovers between Poppy and Alex. Poppy is exactly like her name. She is Poppy, like she is fun, loud-ish, very bubbly person. I feel like she's a people's person, but she's not lucky with finding the right people. She is best friends with Alex, who is just exactly like his name. If I feel like he's very proper, likes things a certain way, doesn't like saxophones. I was like, that is such a red flag because that is the most beautiful instrument. What do you mean you don't like it? They've been friends for a very long time. They went to college together, spend a lot of time, and what they do, they have this tradition in that every single summer they take a trip, budget friendly type of trip, just hang out together. And let me tell you, it can only be Miss Emily Henry who makes me like a Friends to Lovers. I don't like this trope in just general, but I'm eating this up. In real life, I don't think I would like an Alex. I don't think I would give Alex a time of day. He maybe just be good as a friend. Something happened between the two of them and they didn't speak for 2 years, right? And I think I know what it is. And if it is what it is, how can they try to just move on and be friends? They're acting too cool for my cool. There's no going back from that. I don't think there's any going back from that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Writing obviously is perfect. The banter, Poppy and Alex, they kind of have like dry humor. They have these inside jokes. It is so adorable. I'm like, you guys have to be together because there's nobody else that's perfect for you guys besides yourselves. Maybe that's why he can handle the public affection. Maybe like me, when we are together, he feels like no one else is there. Like they are phantoms we dreamed up as set dressing. And I look back at him, he's beaming at me, and I think, I love you more now than I ever have. How is it possible that this keeps happening with him? When you take a picture, I ask. What I'm thinking is, I wish I could bottle this moment and wear it as a perfume. It will always be with me. Everywhere I went, he'd be there too, so I'd always feel like myself. Because she feels like the most authentic when she's with Alex. She feels more of who she is when she's with Alex. And I feel like Alex feels the same way, even though obviously we don't get his POV. And for a person who usually likes the male POV, what she thinks is the only thing that matters. It's just like with Alex. I don't think I would deal with Alex romantically, but because of how Poppy sees him, I'm like, he's perfect. I'm liking it. I'm liking a Friends to Lovers. This is a discovery. Definitely give you guys my final thoughts when I am done, and then I'll start Great Big Beautiful Life. So far so good. I don't know what I'm going to rate them because they're not so much 5 stars, but Ugh, so close. I was like, oh, funny story, Charlie might have rival. I like Miles. Book lovers might actually have a rivalry. This is the rivalry. Yeah, I'll see you guys whenever I see you. So did I spend multiple days not giving you guys an update because I didn't have my 2 books on me? Yeah, I did that. It's been like many days later. I did finish You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. Only Emily Henry will make me like friends to lovers. Like, I don't like this trope in general. Just, I don't think it makes sense to me because you can't be my friend for so long and then tell me that you have feelings for me later. Like, don't find that believable. But she made me root for Poppy and Alex like ridiculously. I was rooting for them from beginning to end. I love Poppy. Yeah, I absolutely love this book and I was right about what happened in Croatia. Yeah, this book is amazing. The writing, obviously, it's absolutely amazing. We get to see Poppy realize things. She finds herself being stuck and she finds herself not being happy. The catalyst in that is what happened in Croatia and not having Alex in her life. And we get to see Alex through Poppy's eyes and we see the things that he wants, which are the things that Poppy would say it's not things that she wants. At the end and how she explained everything, it's like, yes. Sometimes it's not necessarily that you don't want certain things. It's just that for the right person, you would want certain things. Yeah, like as you can tell by my smile, like I absolutely love this book. I absolutely enjoyed it. It's definitely book lovers then You and Me on Vacation. This is so good. I don't know why I was scared, guys. Like, also, this just proves to me that I should not listen to other people when they do their own reviews because that's their own reviews. Here, I had a good time. And I'm so mad that it took so long to read it. Definitely want to do a reread at some point. Like, Alex. And this is what Emily Henry does so well. You would question to be like, I know that this is a romance, but will they end up together? Like, will they end up together? And I found myself being in that trap again. I also enjoyed the fact that they have a lot of history and going back in time to those summers and how they met and how they grew, like their friendship. Literally enjoyed that. Like, it was so sweet. I love it so much. Alex, that's all I keep thinking about. Alex. We're done with You and Me on Vacation. Now finally we are going to be reading Great Big Beautiful Life. I don't know how long this is going to take me. This one we're following 2 writers who are in a competition to write this autobiography for this princess or queen of a place. I'm not sure. There are actually a lot of mixed reviews about this. Even Drew Barrymore was like, I'm obsessed with this author. But what about the book, Drew? What about the book? I'm really, really excited to read this. I love a rivalry of some sorts, and I think this is going to be fun. So without further ado, you guys, once I finish this book, I'm done with reading anything by Emily Henry. I will have nothing. Scary times. Without further ado, let's get into reading. Day and I'm currently on page 81. First impression thoughts. I don't know, maybe I was not getting in the groove of it or whatever, but it was slow. I was not like vibing to it. I was just like, get to the point. And I think the reason why it's written more of what is around our characters, like it's far more descriptive than it is like getting to know the character. I don't fucks with that type of writing. I don't like that. I think that's why I also didn't like A Happy Place. It feels far more of just giving me the visual than it is giving me the story, and I didn't like that at the beginning. This is between Alice and Hayden, and they are in this competition to like write this autobiography for this princess of this dynasty family. This woman said, hey, whoever I feel or trust the most will be the one to write my story, but I'll just hang out with you guys for a month and we'll see how we feel about each other, like if we vibe, like and have multiple conversations, and I'll just see who I trust most or who I feel the most comfortable to write my book. Hayden is hard to read. I like Alice. I think she's a very fun character, and I think I'm gonna enjoy being in her mind. She also has a story of her own, and Hayden also has a story, and then there's this story. Her name is Margaret, and she also has a story. She's basically giving us the tea of her family. It seems like it's gonna be a very interesting drama. I feel like this book is like a drama mystery / romance, and I'm really intrigued. It kind of reminds me of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and also I just want to say Poppy made a cameo. Poppy made a cameo, and I was like, that's Poppy, which brought a huge smile on my face. I think a little after that, the book started picking up. I think Emily Henry does it so well when she sets her book in the publication space in terms of like it's centered around a book or someone being a writer. I think I love it so much. Having two writers or journalists writing a book, it's really interesting. I'm really excited about that. I'm currently on page 81. I'm gonna update you guys a little after maybe like 100 pages, and I like how floppy it is. Let me get into reading, guys. I'll talk to you when I do have an update. Camera always feels skewed. I'm currently on page 244. I'm actually binging this book. It's hitting me far more than I thought it would, right? And I felt like it was dragging in terms of it was giving me a whole lot of description of the place and not so much of getting to know the characters. But now I'm getting to know the characters, and Alice, I want to hug her. Like, I want to hug her so bad. The topic of grief in this book is just sad in the way that is shown as fondness. Like, in that sadness, you're just remembering the good that they had with those people. But I'm far more interested, obviously, in the story of Margaret and her family. I feel like it's such an interesting story than I am like the romance. The romance kind of came out of nowhere between Alice and Hayden. I think the more that I was reading about it, the more I understood that it like they were attracted to each other, and I felt like it was lustful, which is totally understandable. Like, they have great chemistry. Like, it's actually good tension. Like, it's the chemistry is off the charts, but I just don't get falling in love type of vibe. This one, I'm far more invested in like story of Margaret, what Alice is going through, what Alice is feeling. I'm far more interested in her life than I am in the romance, which is perfectly fine. I think the romance is still cute, but the stories are far more interesting to me. Like, the mystery is really getting to me. Like, just tell me. The conversation of parent and child relationships and how those dynamics can look like they're good, but when you dip it inside, so many unsaid or many conversations not being had. The child will try to show up as if like, I'm fine, but whereas no, you're not. Certain things are really hitting too close to home. That's why I was like pretty emotional about it. But this one is far more like, the topics are quite heavy-ish. Emily Henry, how she explains those themes, like with grief, the parent-child relationship, not feeling like good enough in the career that you're in because there's certain accolades that you do not have. Like, I think it's serious conversations that a lot of people don't necessarily have in terms of career. That you would do something and so many people will not deem it worthy or see it as serious because it doesn't hold to a certain standard. Hayden explained it so much better than what I'm trying to say. The writing is good. There's some heavy hitting lines. This style of writing was like, you can tell that she's venturing to something new. It's like it's working, but there's some gaps. It's not fully gelling well. I'm comparing, but it's like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It was very concise in a way that we get her story, number one, husband number two, and everything like that. But I feel like with this one, too many pauses in between the story. It doesn't gel well with me. There are too many pauses in between getting to know Margaret's story and being in the present. It's slightly exhausting because it just happens rapidly, and Margaret sometimes is just like, can you stop? I'm like, girl, we're getting to the good part. It feels experimental. we're talking about the career, right? Just because something doesn't make money or win awards doesn't mean it doesn't have value or doesn't deserve to exist. The job is alchemy. You take the hunk of a rock and you try to turn it into gold, and the gold isn't even really the point. I was like, yes, yes. Yes, concepts of the book, I really love it. So frustrating not knowing the full story, but I understand because it's a mystery drama, it's a drama mystery, and everything feels like up in the air right now. This has been so fun. Being in Emily Henry's universe has been so fun. Actually, the last book after this one, I have nothing. I'm like really nervous and very scared. I'm currently on page, wait, 350. I have so many theories and they're like, what the hell? He movie. Oh my god. Emily Henry, I didn't know you had it in you. Like, I'm so intrigued. I'm like at the edge of my seat. Like the crumbs that I'm getting, I'm trying to piece it together. At the end, it doesn't make sense. Like my theory doesn't make sense. It could be, but it doesn't make sense. Hayden comes across as, like if you don't know him, he comes across as an uptight, rude person. But once you get to know him, he's so sweet. And I take it back. I was like, oh, there's no romance. I'm feeling it. This is far more making art than any of her books. Even that in itself is not vulgar. It's just written in the most poetic way ever. Like, listen to this. He carries me to his bed and we tumble onto it. The rest of our outer layers coming off as we bury ourselves in the blankets. The soft smell of almond everywhere and still not enough. I press my nose against his neck and inhale, his low laugh vibrating through me. I knew it. Currently on page 377 and I literally have more questions. I have more questions. Bathuzalo kubani? I am officially done with Great Big Beautiful Life. Like, I finally finished it, but I'm not sure if I finished it or it finished me. What a roller coaster. When I started this book, I saw with like my initial feelings, how I felt at the end was completely different than how I started. The last 200 pages of this book were absolutely phenomenal. I'm not saying like the first 150 pages were not good. It's just that I feel like we took too long to get there. Like, there was no need for us to take that long. Once we got into Margaret's story, this all-American dynasty family, like they owned this huge publication, they owned hotels. What else do they own? They owned a couple of things. It kind of reminded me of the family from Succession. Margaret's family is like ridiculously rich. As Margaret is telling the story, we get to see it from her great-grandfather to her grandfather to her father up until to her. It's because she didn't have a lot of connection to the other people that she was talking about. She was just basically giving us a history lesson of her family line or family tree. That's why I was like not really interested. I liked seeing of how everything came about. It gave the whole history repeats itself type of thing. But when we finally got to her parents and their love story, Freddie and Benny, so cute. I absolutely loved it. Guys, let's bring back courting. Also got into her love story with her husband, who is Cosmo Sinclair. And I guess we did need that history lesson and getting to know the history of Margaret, where she is from, in order to understand who she is, right? That was happening, guys, and it was just like drama after drama. Like, it's rich people drama, and that really kept me intrigued. But I did feel like we took too long to get to the point. And also, I just do want to apologize to Alice and Hayden. Like, I judged you guys too quickly. It's not like the other books where she is giving us the emotional connection first before anything is physical. This starts out as physical, and I don't know that from Emily. So that's why I even said that the writing is experimental, because even the things that our characters were doing felt very experimental for the author. They were making out quite a lot, and I was like, this is cute, this is hot. Even them touching knees, hugging, the shocking thing of all. I did cry, guys. I cried last night. It's because of this book. Like the ending was a bit rushed, especially with Hayden and Alice's love story. I wish we could have learned more of Hayden. If we had cut some things at the beginning, we would have gotten a perfect ending. I am officially done, guys. The only book that I have is Beach Read. And with that, I would like to give you guys my tier ranking. Happy Place has to be at the bottom, okay? As fifth is definitely Funny Story. And then on the third one, we do have Beach Read. This will be my number 3. Oh, my number 2. This is because she changed my mind on Friends to Lovers. Because there is no book like Book Lovers for me, okay? That's my tier ranking of Emily's books. That is it for this vlog, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you have read any of Emily Henry's books and tell me what are your top 5. Until next time, guys. See you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye.